Look how good that looks. It looks like legit good. Hey everyone, Dave here, and today we're making what's trending right now in the world of recipes, comfort core dishes. We're gonna make a comfort core dish called keto chicken pot pie casserole. Sounds pretty good. It's keto, it's chicken pot pie, but it's also a casserole. So, well, I'll throw that on the ground, that's fine. That's what we do on this channel. What you're gonna need first is some celery. We gotta prep some of the veggies and stuff. So we're gonna start off with the celery. I'm gonna wash it and then we're gonna chop it up. Okay, here we go. We're gonna chop up some celery, and you want it in nice small pieces for your chicken pot pie. Cut off the fingers, hopefully not. Casserole. You only need a cup of it. Yeah, maybe like all of this probably would be fine. Some people absolutely hate celery, so of course you could leave this out if you're one of those people. There might be one of those people in my household. My wife, for example, she said celery's nasty. I actually don't mind celery. Tina said that she thinks most of you agree that celery's awful. Let me know in the comments below if you all hate celery. See, I have childhood memories of celery with peanut butter and raisins on it, and my mom would be like, David. I like how she sounds like she's 900 years old. David, I made you some ants on a log. That's what she would do. Although she doesn't sound like that at all. All right, so celery is chopped, diced, whatever. Also, we're gonna do a green pepper. Now, technically, chicken pot pie, you're gonna want to use carrots. Carrots are pretty high in carb, and so we're substituting the carrots with a green pepper. Another thing you can use, if you so desire, is mushrooms. Mushrooms would also go well in this. They're low carb, pretty low carb, and they're good in a pot pie. So if you want that, you can add that here as well. Just chop them up now and add them in the same time you add the celery and the green peppers. Or carrots if you hate green peppers. Or you could do carrots and, you can mix and match, guys. You could do green peppers, mushrooms, carrots. You could do carrots, green peppers, onions. No, onions aren't in there yet, are they? I know what I'm saying. All right, so there's our green peppers and our celery. All right, so we want some chicken, because it is chicken pot pie after all, and we need 1 lib of chicken. 1 lib, guys. That stands for pound, LB. 1 lib of chicken. This is 1.5 libs. So let's see, we're just gonna take like 1, 2, 3. Take 4 of them, which will be like, 3/4 of it. We're supposed to, this is boneless, skinless chicken thigh. And we're supposed to use, the knife is not very sharp. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me go get a better knife. This one should be sharper, hopefully. Yeah, and we want to cube the chicken, which, I don't know, I'm just gonna cut it into like some sort of squares or semi-squares or semi-charmed kind of life. Baby. I want some. Okay, I'm done. So just cube up the chicken. You want it to be bite-sized. It's gonna be in a pot pie casserole, so you don't want anyone getting a huge chunk of chicken. You can also cut off some of the excess fat if you don't want that. You know what a good place to get knives is, Tina?
On davesmarketplace.com.
She said Dave's Market. That's not the website, Tina. It's daveskitchenmarket.com. I paid her all this money for the ad, and she just messed up the ad read. You're fired. daveskitchenmarket.com, guys. That's my website. Check it out. Loaded with cool stuff for your kitchen. Bunch of live shows been going on lately where people are just selling things live. Even I go on there and sell stuff live. Like, I had a Starbucks collection like of cups that I'm gonna sell, cookbooks, things like that. Just make sure you go to daveskitchenmarket.com. I have a structured settlement, daveskitchenmarket.com. Remember that ad? All right, I'll be back after I finish this. All right, so we've got our chicken all cubed up. Next thing we do need to do is take some cottage cheese and blendify it. So 1/2 cup of cottage cheese goes into our little mixer here, like so. And you can use any food processor, blender, whatever, to blend this down, like so. And we're gonna use that in a minute, so I'm gonna just shut this thing. I usually put a link to this little ninja chopper in my videos. It's always very useful. I'll try to do that again this time. All right, we have to go prepare the filling, the insides of this dish, this casserole. When we come back to this spot, we'll be making the dough for the top, but we're not gonna do that yet because timing matters. Let's head over to the stovetop and get to work on the chicken filling first. All right, so we're over at our stovetop. We've got a big old skillet on here. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons of butter on there, onto it, so that it melts down. All right, so my butter is mostly melted, mostly. You can add the chicken now or wait for it to fully melt, doesn't really matter. We wanna cook up our cubed chicken thighs in this skillet till they are cooked through and brown, probably 5 to 7 minutes. All right, so the chicken is cooking pretty good. I just wanna stir it up a little bit so that we get it on all the sides, get it cooked on all the sides and don't burn it on any specific side. All right, so the chicken's looking pretty good. Now, nice thing is it's thighs. I think you can go a little over 165 with thighs without any real issue, but I wanna get it close to 165, 170 internal temp. All right, I think the chicken is pretty much good. We can use the thermometer and check a few pieces. I believe it's gonna go into a casserole dish and then into the oven and cook a little more anyways. Yeah, it's gonna bake for 25 minutes, so let's take a look. Yeah, see, even so, that says 177 degrees, 180, 170. So we're gonna call that done. We're gonna take the chicken out and set it aside for now. I'm just gonna put it onto a plate. I'm gonna leave a little bit of that butter in there, and then I'm gonna put my celery and my green peppers in there. And again, if you have carrots or mushrooms or both, you can add those now too. And just saute those until they soften for like 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes in that same pan there. All right, still keeping an eye on our veggies. Just sauteing them a little bit. I think we're getting pretty close, maybe another minute or two. All right, so I just put the chicken back in with the peppers and celery. I forgot to turn the camera on. It's all right, it's on now. Mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna turn down my heat a scotch. We're about to add a bunch more stuff and I don't want it to be too hot. So we're supposed to add a cup of chicken broth, but I accidentally received spicy chicken broth instead of chicken broth from the Walmart delivery person. You'd feel like, you know, that may be something they would realize would not be the same thing, but here we are with spicy chicken broth. So I'm gonna do 3/4 of a cup of the chicken broth instead of the full cup. Maybe that'll reduce it a little bit as far as spice goes. We're then gonna add 1.5 cups of heavy cream, which I have right here. Oh my goodness. That is chunky. We're gonna get some different heavy cream. Now don't worry, I do have new heavy cream. I bought new heavy cream. I just found that in the fridge and was like, oh, I don't need to use the new stuff. I'll just use the stuff that's already in here. It was still in date, but yeah, no good. All right, so nice fresh heavy cream, 1.5 cups of it. Just add that into le soup du jour as well. So we've added 1.5 cups of heavy cream, 3/4 cup of spicy chicken broth. Fry it this way, maybe this is gonna be better, who knows? We then want 1/4 cup of cream cheese. And I've got the cream cheese here. Mine's a little bit softened, which makes it a little easier to work with and measure. Add that. Oh no, splash it all over yourself. I'm sure that wasn't on camera, but there's liquid everywhere now. We've talked about how I'm not a professional cook on here, right? Pretty sure we've covered that. 1/4 cup of cream cheese. We then want to add that 1/2 cup of blend up cottage cheese that we prepared earlier with our little ninja chopper into this. I turned my heat down maybe too much because it doesn't seem to be doing anything now. I should probably turn it back on, but that's all right. Give me extra time to get everything in there. Okay, now we're gonna add our spices in, and for that we want 1/4 teaspoon of ground thyme. All right, 1/4 teaspoon of ground thyme goes in there. Want 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Oh, I lied. It's a whole teaspoon of garlic powder, my bad. Whole teaspoon of garlic powder. Whole teaspoon of onion powder. So I'm just doing 1/2 twice there. Oh, we got some bubbling going on, so let me just stir it a little bit. We're then gonna add salt and pepper to taste to this. Yeah, look, it's all melting and stuff. It looks pretty good, honestly. I think that will neutralize a lot of that spiciness, hopefully. Here's a little salt, and here's a little pepper in there. We're then gonna take a lemon and squeeze some lemon juice in there, like 1.5 teaspoons, it says. So I'm just gonna do like 1/2 of a lemon in there, and then mix that all together and let it simmer for a few. Then finally, we're gonna add 1 cup of shredded mozzarella. Like so, we add the mozzarella. That was only 2/3 cup, so let me add a little more. And this should create a super creamy, delicious center for our chicken pot pie casserole. Just mix it around. I probably need a little more salt. I didn't add much. Now we're gonna let this simmer for 5 to 7 minutes until it's nice and creamy, and then we'll work on our topping. All right, so we're gonna spray down a 9x9 pan. Hopefully this is big enough, with some olive oil. Then we'll just take all this filling and dump it in there, and hopefully it all fits. I think it will. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we can set that aside and work on the topping. So for the topping, my camera's a little bit messed up. All right guys, we're gonna add 1.5 cups of almond flour into a bowl here. I'm using a 1/2 cup measure. That's why you see me doing it 3 times. And then on top of that, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm really running, scraping the bottom of the barrel for my utensils right now because they're all dirty. So I'm just using a half teaspoon and adding it 4 times to get my 2 teaspoons. But if you have just a teaspoon, do that twice. You get the point. You get the basic math. Half a teaspoon of xanthan gum gets added next. And this is all for our topping, our delicious topping. Half a teaspoon of that. Then we want to do half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Add it into that. Half a teaspoon of salt. Iodized, I guess, is what we have today. You probably shouldn't do it over the top like this. I'm being sloppy. So we'll just mix this all together, like so, all our dry ingredients, and then we will work on the other part, which you're gonna be familiar with. It's a bowl, cup of mozzarella. Did I do a fancy editing thing where it just showed up in the bowl? That's what I was thinking about doing. I don't know if I actually did it though. Hopefully I did. 4 ounces of cream cheese. Look, it's magically there again. Power of editing. Microwave this for 20 seconds. I actually microwaved it for 30. I'm gonna try to mix it together. It's not gonna be quite ready yet, but we'll mix it together a little bit and then do another 30, and then it should be ready to add. Stir that up. Like I said, it should be good now. Should be ready to add to our flour mixture that we have here. Okay, so we'll add it in there. And then we're gonna combine it to form a dough kind of a substance here. I've got some butter heating up too, because we're gonna need to add that next. And we're gonna add 2 eggs. It says 2 large eggs. I only have medium, so maybe I'll add 3 medium eggs. I'm gonna break them into this bowl first. I realized I should do that. That would be wisdom. I'm going fast because I know this recipe's taking a minute, so I'm trying not to, you know, waste your time. So 3 medium eggs or 2 large, and then 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Mix it all together. And we should have an amazing topping, like a dough topper for our pot pie. I hope this works. I feel like I should just use my hands. Yep, I'm doing it. Hands in. Oh, you know what? My camera's not on above me. So I don't know how much of this you saw, but imagine just a bunch of ingredients being added together. And I can't turn it on right now because my hands are covered in dough. I forgot to turn on my camera. It happens to the best of us. But here, I'll pull it out so you can see what it looks like. How am I supposed to do this without it just sinking into the liquid? This seems crazy. Is there a way that we could like form this into a dough? This is not gonna work. Hold on. I'm pretty convinced this isn't gonna work. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do an experiment. I'm gonna pour some of it into this little ramekin, like so, and get it all over the place. Why not? So basically, try it the way ChatGPT told me to try it, but then also try something different that I have more hope will work. Because I just don't see how this dough is gonna not fall into the casserole. I'm gonna take some of the dough we made, beautiful after all. I'm gonna do it on top of this ramekin and hopefully it doesn't fall in. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Come on, come on. The problem is the dough is like too floppy. This is my concern. And if it's too floppy for this little ramekin, how in the world is it not gonna be too floppy for the big giant dish? Is it just gonna sink? I mean, I guess I could try it. I could put it on here and see what happens. Like if I do this, does it sink? Yeah, it's sinking. This was my concern. Let's try it like this on this one. We do the ramekin full like that. And then we'll take the rest of the dough and we'll try it like ChatGPT said and put it just right on top of here and see if either one doesn't sink. I feel like they're both gonna sink. I'm gonna work in smaller bits. I know that's maybe crazy, but this is really sticky. Don't fall in. Maybe it's working. Okay, so kind of. It's kind of working. It's not enough to cover the whole thing because I stole some for over there. Maybe it would have worked. Maybe it would have worked, guys. Should I go for it? Whatever. We're gonna go with it like this. Maybe we should have just done this. We'll know at the end either way. It doesn't really make a difference. At the end, we'll be able to tell you what to do. This is thick enough to hold it. I didn't realize that, so we could have just put it all there. We still could. Should we do it? Let's do it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're adding a little bit more and then we're doing that. And see, now it's sinking because I messed it all up. All right, let's try that. Let's see what happens. That's gonna go into the oven, 375 degrees for 30 minutes, and we're gonna see if this thing works. Hopefully it does. All right, guys, I'm back, and I gotta be honest, I shouldn't have doubted ChatGPT. Look at this. It looks like a chicken pot pie. I should have done it in one big piece, like we talked about earlier. But even so, here, let me zoom in. Look how good that looks. It looks like legit good. I don't know if it actually is gonna taste good, but look at that. It's like actually got some crisp to it. Let's see if we can't get a little bit into a bowl here. Oh gosh, it's overflowing a little bit. Add it in there. Look at that, guys. Keto comfort food, chicken pot pie, casserole. Check that out. Okay, we're gonna give it a taste. I wasn't sure if I needed a spoon or a fork. I think spoon is appropriate. I have let it cool for a minute, but it still looks scorching hot. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, guys. This is awesome. That's so good. It tastes like a straight up chicken pot pie. Like a really good chicken pot pie, but it's keto, guys. So you can have this guilt-free. The spicy chicken broth added a little kick, but it's a good kick. It's not too much or anything like that. So that actually worked out too. This is definitely my lunch today because it is awesome. I love it when a plan comes together, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely try this recipe out. It's awesome, delicious, and keto. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Check out daveskitchenmarket.com, and we'll see you next time.